Now, a bill to legalize marijuana has been introduced in the US. Its advocates claim taxing the drug will bring millions to the US budget. Well, for more, I'm now joined live by Aaron Houston, who's the only full-time marijuana lobbyist on Capitol Hill and a director of government relations at the Marijuana Policy Project. Mr. Houston, thank you very much for joining us. So, is this all about money? Just how much will Uncle Sam be making if cannabis does become legal?
Well, by very conservative estimates, one that was actually endorsed by famed late economist Milton Friedman, the United States could generate between savings and tax revenue of around $14 billion per year. By less conservative estimates, the government could actually make $40 billion a year in both combined savings and tax revenue. Marijuana is, of course, America's #1 cash crop. It's valued at $36 billion a year. It's bigger than corn and wheat combined. It's big business.
Well, clearly, in the time of a global...
And our current laws basically guarantee...
So do carry on, Mr. Houston. I was just about to say that, well, in the time of a global credit crunch, such huge amounts of revenue potentially coming to the US government would be very welcome. But what about the potential damage to public health?
Well, there would be no damage to public health. In fact, public health would be aided. Right now, our marijuana laws in this country are the greatest danger to public health regarding marijuana. In other words, the laws prohibiting marijuana are much more harmful from a public health standpoint than the substance itself. The substance itself is actually safer than alcohol. No one's ever died from marijuana. There's never been a single case of recorded overdose in medical history. Of course, alcohol kills thousands of people a year. You can overdose on alcohol. We would propose to tax and regulate it in a way that would keep it out of kids' hands. We would regulate it just like alcohol so that children could not get their hands on it. They would be carded if anyone trying to gain access to it would be carded with an identification card. They would have to show and demonstrate that they're over 21 years of age. There would be strict controls on it to make sure that it doesn't fall into our kids' hands, which is what is happening now. Our current laws guarantee that it falls into children's hands. 86% of high school seniors in this country say marijuana is very easy to get.
Now, Mr. Houston, despite your promises of tough regulation, this remains a highly contentious issue. How much support are you getting from the Obama administration in your bid to legalize marijuana?
Well, President Obama has said that he is not in favor of legalizing marijuana, although years ago he did make a statement about decriminalization of marijuana and indicated some level of support for that, although he has since modified his position. But what I will say about President Obama is that he has demonstrated extraordinary leadership on the issue of medical marijuana. In this country, of course, we have over a dozen states with medical marijuana laws on the books that protect patients and their caregivers from arrest. If a cancer patient needs to use medical marijuana, she can do that if she's getting chemotherapy treatments without the fear of state arrest. But of course, it's still illegal under federal law. And the Drug Enforcement Administration in this country has made a habit under the Bush administration of raiding these patients in the states where it's legal under state law. President Obama demonstrated extraordinary leadership on the campaign trail, saying that he would stop these cruel and heartless raids on patients and caregivers in the medical marijuana states. And when he became president on February 4th, I believe, he issued a statement via a spokesman saying that these raids would end, that he would keep his campaign promise, essentially. And several weeks later, we saw the Attorney General of the United States, Eric Holder, declare that what President Obama had said about medical marijuana raids and stopping them was now American policy. So he has demonstrated extraordinary leadership on the issue in general, on drug policy in general already. And this issue, of course, was the top issue on his website 3 times in 3 rounds of voting when he, through his official transition team website, asked the public, millions of voters, to submit ideas. They submitted thousands of ideas, and the top issue every time was legalizing marijuana. Every time it came in at #1. That's a clear message to our leaders and to President Obama that the people would like to see change.
OK, Mr Houston, we wait with interest to see if the bid to legalise marijuana does indeed succeed. Aaron Houston from the Marijuana Policy Project, many thanks there.